Yeah, we're at the Turkish Trade Center in Elko Village, Illinois, and wanted to explain that the TTC Chicago is a trade zone that is certified by the United States Department of Commerce. What that means is that the equipment that is brought here from Turkish manufacturing, generally machinery companies, does not have to pay duty until it is shipped to its final destination. So it can remain here indefinitely, or when it gets shipped to Canada or Mexico in this hemisphere, then it doesn't get any duty on it until it gets to its final destination. Standing in front of the office that is one of our partners here at the TTC Chicago, which is Yenmac, which makes engine parts, and they're sold all over the world, go to some of the largest manufacturers, as the supply chain for parts is now worldwide. The United States, and this is how they will get started with their distributors, with their direct sales. So this is an example of an office building. We'll go out and take a look at some of the warehouse space we have outside. In our training room, so this is one of the features or one of the attributes of the TTC Chicago that is to the benefit of our partners, where they can hold a training for instance, their distributors. It's another benefit for our partners to come. We have several of these conference rooms which you could have individual meetings with vendors or with customers. This is the 165,000 square foot warehouse where we offer both dry storage, we can do turnarounds in 24 hours, we have logistics on board here, and we can handle both the logistics side or the machinery side. So we have our bays here, our docks, it's all enclosed from the weather. So we do our dry storage inside here. In addition to just the storage and logistics, we have kitting services and assembly services where we actually bring people in and they do sorting, and we can handle any requirement that the customer is looking for. So this is more the logistics side of the business. The other side of the business we'll take a look at is the machinery side. So we provide warehouse space in addition to the office space for a footprint for the machines to come in, and we keep it in a dry environment, and it's under a secure environment, as we said the foreign trade zone is. So this would be an example of one of our partners' space out in the warehouse. They have their equipment ready to be shipped. They got a place set up for a demonstration where distributors can come in and learn about the equipment and essentially get trained on it. So out here in the warehouse, as we said, we do logistics, but we also can do fulfillment. So if somebody wants to have us kit up packages and send them out, it's a pretty quick turnaround. So this is one of our partners for machine tools that are coming from Turkey. So in this particular booth space that's rented, it includes both the demo area and then the warehouse where they store the parts. One of the critical things about the machinery business, which is about 98% penetrated by offshore equipment, is to have parts supply readily available so you can fix a down machine. So this horizontal bandsaw line is one of the leading lines out of Turkey. So we're in an area that we do the quality control for a customer. They essentially bring their product in. We have to check it. We want to check for blemishes in the product, or whether there's some type of breakage in the seals that would otherwise make the product inoperable. And this is the area of the warehouse where that function takes place. So we bring people in here, they do the counting, they do the sorting, and then they're repackaged and ready to be shipped out to their distribution points. So this is the space rented by one of our partners, and the two machines that were brought in here after the FabTech show last year are now doing work in Nebraska, I believe. So this is the line, the type of machinery that we typically bring to the center. This is our oldest partner and one of the largest companies in Turkey that has CNC equipment. They have more CNC machine tools. This is their I think Brass and Brown's foundry. There's another foundry on the other side. So this is a supplier to agricultural drive lines and transmissions, hydraulic products. So they would have this office here, and then they would set up their supply chain, contact people that they do business with out of this office. So we had gone out on the floor. We looked at one of our partners, CMAC, which is cranes and large industrial hoist systems that are actually pretty advanced, that they can use Industrial 4.0 to communicate with the cloud about their position. So anyway, this is their office where they bring in their sales potential. This is an office again for the MVD press brake laser turret press manufacturer that we looked at their spot, their footprint out in the warehouse. This is the office that they maintain. So this is part of what the package generally is for an office and a footprint for a Turkish manufacturer. So this is one of the other conference rooms that we have here that's for the use of our partners at the TTC. So really this is kind of the heart and soul of what the Elk Grove Village area and the area around O'Hare Airport is known for, is sort of the major hub for logistics in North America. So if you're looking for a part for a machine tool, this is where you ought to be looking. If you're looking for a machine, this is where you ought to be looking. And if you're trying to be in a centralized location from which you can distribute throughout North America, this is considered the best location in the nation. So this is an example of how we accommodate the customer's needs. So we can put products for the customer up on racks. It can be coming in as palletized, a variety of ways. So if you are a machinery manufacturer, you would probably want to know what kind of power that we have. 480 volts, we can transform it down 150 kVA, so we can supply the heaviest suppressors or compressors, whatever the builder's looking for. So you can see by our lead-ins, there's plenty of power in this warehouse to supply any need. Okay, so we have here some racking, well, not so much racking, but it is conveyors. So we set up for a customer what his line he would like it to be. So we essentially can customize that type of material handling operation to how he would like to see it laid out. So my background, I've got about 37 years in the machine tool business. I've been selling CNC equipment since 1981 when it really first came on the scene. Prior to that, I operated NC equipment, came out of a valve manufacturing warehouse for about 7 years, actually working on machinery. You can see here, this is a line of CNC equipment that is used for routing. So it's essentially wood routing would be, could be styrofoam or something like that, but all CNC equipment. Pretty high-tech motors that are operating it. So essentially the technological advantages that the Turkish manufacturer has are really kind of second to none. So this is an example of something that is desirable in the winters of Chicago, or the rainy season when that rolls around, is indoor loading and unloading of equipment. So things aren't, the truckers don't generally like to tarp their equipment when they're out in the weather and the wind's blowing. But if you bring them inside, where we unloaded and loaded the press brake and shear that left here a couple weeks ago, we did it all inside. Everything was copacetic before the trucker left. So a little bit of insurance to make sure that the machinery gets all the way to the customer without any trauma.